Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Hell's Paradise episode number 8 reaction. So the previous episode we got to meet two new characters, Mei and Hoko. Not two technically, a few more because we did meet Tencent as well. So four new characters if you think about it. And what happened was that it was like going on in two sections. The first section was obviously we get to see what Gadmaru and his team goes through. They meet a tree, kind of, whose name is Hoko, and Mei, a little girl, and they kind of interact, talk to each other, have a little bit of rest, in their place, and get to know a lot of information about this island. First of all, this island is called Kotaku, I think. Second, there are extremely strong beings, and I think like the post that they are in is called Tencent. That's what I understood. The post is like Tencent is not a name, I think it's a post, like Tencent. So those guys or girls, I'm not sure who they are, but they who are fighting those two, the two brothers, they are Tencent, I think. So like they're extremely strong human, not human beings, like gods, kind of, I guess, and that they have this obviously immortality, doesn't die, regenerates back, stuff, all those stuff they can do. And another thing, the elixir of life is real. It's not a Mandarin, but it is real. It is called, I think, Tan. I think they called it Tan, and it's like a little urn. So another thing we got to know is that these Tencent, they whatever people comes and intrudes in this place, they throw them inside like a pit, and the islands feed on them, and the nutrition goes to the Tan, which makes the immortal elixir, the elixir of life. So a lot of information we got to see. We also got to get to know a little bit about Mei. She doesn't really talk. She's also like Hoko, kind of. I'm guessing she's also immortal. I'm not exactly sure. And yeah, stuff like that. So it was a nice little episode, and our team got the little rest that they got, and they definitely need that. Yeah, now in this crazy island that they are in, and also those two brothers, they're fighting for their life. So let's see what happens. Episode number 8, let us get started. So I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh, is this a backstory? Oh, it's that guy. We saw him before in one of those episodes. Damn. What the hell? Hmm. Oh, aside from killing. Hmm. So he was like a thug, kind of, I'm guessing. Until, oh boy, these are actual samurais. Wait, he actually beat them up. They had freaking swords. What the hell? Yo. Okay, who's this? Oh, this guy. We've seen him. Oh, he was with that girl, that lady, The one who he beheaded, I don't know her name. That girl. Okay. He's the one who beheaded her, and yeah, okay. Hmm. Student and master. Hmm. I don't think so. Hmm. Yeah. First, let's get out of here. Good God. Oh boy. Whoa. What? Okay. Danger alert. Run. Oh boy. This is trouble. Toshin, there you go. Oh my God. Here we go. Okay, so everyone can all right. So this is another Tencent, I'm guessing. Hey yo, wait, that power. Didn't that little girl also use that? Oh my God. Oh, nice. She dodged. This guy just randomly came and started attacking us. Oh, but it won't work. Just going to regenerate. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, nice. All right. Time to go. Oh, whoa. Yeah, let's go. I'm pretty sure he'll just catch up to us. Oh my God. Yep. Oh boy. He'll just jump scare us anytime. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, who? Oh, it's him. His his Alright, interesting. So he didn't go back, I guess. He stayed here. Shion. Yeah. Well, he's an anime character. Yep. Oh boy, I feel like that monster thing is just going to catch up to us. Rank 4. Alright. He even noticed that. Damn, and well, about that. Oh, he was actually going to go back. But I guess it didn't. Well, like, he couldn't really go out because the condition of the sea. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, but that thing. Oh wait. Oh, because she's supposed to be a criminal. Oh boy. Yeah. Damn. Nah, but she is different. She never really committed any crime. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Wow. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, like if you think about it, he was also a criminal before. Like, I won't call him a criminal, but oh boy. Okay. Alright, I feel like you need to move now. Oh wow. Yeah, good eye. How did wait, oh because he said that I remember all the reports. Yeah. Ah! Oh! Loves jump scaring people. Wait, why did he go back to a woman? What the? Oh my god. You have to be alive to be a thumb. Oh my god. He got cut in the throat. That's. What is he going to unleash his bankai? Uh, oh. Okay. Well, that's not to work. Oh no! What the? Oh. Yo, how are we going to defeat these things? What's going on? Like. Ah. Wow. Oh, is that Sagiri? That's Sagiri, isn't it? Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. He's equating potential with money and. Defeat me! Then you can pass. Oh, okay. Oh. Um, oh, he's trying to. Wait, who's. Oh, this is Enzo or Endo? Something like that. Yeah, he's like, why should I care? Oh, okay. Hmm. This is a graveyard. Oh. Hmm. No, I feel like he did the opposite. That's why he regretted it, and now he's. Uh, he probably blames himself, and that's why this time he is not making. Wait, is that? Oh my god. It was him. Damn. Oh, he had to do his duty, I think. Yeah. Hmm. True. Hmm. No, he's waiting for him. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Ah, boy. Oh God. Oh, damn. Yo. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, this thing is a monster. How can you? Ah, yeah. Oh my God. Oh. Stopped. Yeah. Oh God. Damn. Oh my God. He's also bleeding out. Damn. Whoa. Oh, he was able to do it. Okay, so from here onwards, he decided to, with his own free will. Oh, the symbolism, the budding flowers in the cherry blossom tree. Oh, okay, that is it. Okay. Well, that was a pressing episode. Alright, so here in this episode, we get to see the story of Tenza, I think that was his name, yeah, and Shion. So we get the backstory of Tenza. We get to see that how he was a person who had some very bad circumstances. His parents, as he says, like my parents neither had the resources nor desire to feed me, and people just abused him, said bad things to him, and he also hated the world. He hated the people. He stole from other people, you know, like did whatever he had to survive. The only thing that he didn't do was actually kill people, and like he survived like that. And one day, as it turns out, he crosses his paths with some samurais. Now, this part was kind of unexpected. I was thinking like, oh, this time he'll get beaten up or something by the samurais, because these are samurais, they have like swords and all. So I was surprised seeing he was actually the one who was beating them. I was like, God damn, what? Like, yeah, that I was not expecting that. But in comes Shion and stops him, and Shion is like, yeah, like, don't do this. And Shion is the one who took him in. Okay, so that was a little flashback we saw. Then we are back to the present time. We get to see Tensa and Nurugai. Both of them are on the sea beach or seashore, and they're like, "Oh, we need to get out of this place." Like discussing about what they should do. Oh, in comes this girl slash guy. Now, here's the thing. I'm guessing this is also another Tencent. So I'm guessing every Tencent has both the both the genders, like male and female. They can switch in their own own will. Like the previous dude or girl we saw, the yellow haired one, he was also able to switch. At first he was a girl, and then he switched. So here we see this person also does the same. So I'm guessing the other person that was with the other guy, the yellow haired guy, the pink haired girl who we saw, this is just a guess, but I'm guessing that was also a Tencent. And if that girl was also a Tencent, she could also probably switch to a male form. So, not necessarily, I'm guessing, like everyone can switch. But this is just a guess. I'm sure a few of them can, because that's how it's looking like. This person who just suddenly pops up in front of us, she can also switch. At first she was a girl, and then she became a boy, and then she again became a girl. And I do wonder if there's any kind of reason why, she was switching, because you know why did she switch again? She was a boy, like, when he was fighting these, like, what's his name, Shion and Tenza. Then he switched to a girl again, and for the final blow that she dealt against, um, what was his name? Oh my god, I just forgot his name. Um, Tenza, yeah, Tenza. Okay, for a moment I forgot his name again. The final blow that she dealt against Tenza, she was a girl. I wonder if there's any kind of reason why he suddenly switched. Like, he was a male before and then he switched. Oh, maybe, I don't know, maybe because the male body got hurt, because Shion dealt a significant amount of damage to the male body. Is that why, he had to switch from a male body to a female body? I don't know. Maybe that was the reason. Or maybe there isn't any particular reason. He just felt like it. That's why he just switched. Who knows? Either way, yeah, like, I'm guessing like everyone here, or like they can like switch from a male to a female body, or at least a few of them can. So okay, so in comes this person. We don't know his or her name. The yellow-haired girl. She comes in, and she's like, "Oh, I was feeling a little bit of disturbance in this island. How unusual." Switches to a boy. And another thing we can see here is that whenever they switch from genders, there's this like veins that pop up. Even in the previous episode, that yellow-haired Tencent, she also, when she switched to a boy, veins popped up. And I'm guessing these are not blood vessels. Those are actually, I think, tree veins. Because when Shion was like dealt damage to her, him, like tree vines were coming out of them. So I doubt those are blood vessels. Those are probably tree vines or something. Yeah, these they're monsters. Like, how are we going to defeat these things? Like, I feel like there's no way we can defeat them with this amount of power. Like, how do you kill someone who regenerates? Like, what? Okay. So, yeah, she comes in, changes to a boy, and oh, another thing we saw here, she or he in this situation, after she switched to a he, charged at him with the fist. The fist started glowing. Reminded me of May, that was her name in the previous episode, that little girl. Reminded me of her. She also, remember that part where Sagiri was like following her? She just turned and gave her like a punch where her hand was also glowing. So I'm guessing all of these people here like uses the same techniques or something like that. Interesting. So attacked Tenza, and okay, so he immediately realized that yeah, these things are strong. So he gets knocked out. Nurugai comes in, and Nurugai tries to save him, but gets attacked by this creature again. Starts dodging. She can actually dodge pretty nicely. So when Tenza realized that, oh, it's not going to work like this, he got up, slashed off the ice. No, nothing happened. Because these things regenerate. He just immediately regenerated. The cut off ice just regenerated back. And yeah, immediately Tenza's like, yep, we are not killing this thing. This thing is crazy. So we have to somehow get away from here. So, quick decision he takes. He's like, Nurugai, I'm going to distract this thing. You run when I give the signal, and then I'll also run. So he, using his sword blade, he actually attacks and takes off the head, arms, legs, everything, just chops them down, and signals, immediately start running. Now, it's crazy how, the regeneration is so strong that these things, they aren't even fighting us properly. They're just standing there letting them attack them, and because they're like, oh, I'll just regenerate, I don't need to defend myself. Like that's the thing, like in this section we see how easily Tenza was able to cut off the head and the arms and legs. I feel like these things don't have any motivation of defending themselves, because they know if their hands and head gets chopped off, it'll just grow a new one. So they're like, yeah, I don't care about defending myself. I'll just take my time doing stuff. So they're so overpowered, so high regenerative power they have, that they don't even defend themselves. They don't care about defending themselves. It's crazy. That's how easy they are, taking this whole thing. Oh, some little intruders came in our garden. We'll just squat them, just smack them away, no problem. That way they're treating this. And I can understand another thing here as well. The reason why the elixir of life still exists is because more and more people are sent here from the mainland to come and get the elixir of life. Ironically, they are the ones who become the nourishment for the elixir of life, so that these creatures living here can feed on it and stay alive forever. I'm guessing that is what's happening here. Just imagine if the mainland stopped sending people here. What would have happened? I do wonder. Because then there won't be any nourishment for the town. And these people, these Tencent who are feeding on I'm guessing they're the ones who are feeding on the elixir of life, who are feeding on it, will stop getting that tan. So they won't be immortal again, I think. So I wonder what they would have done if the mainland stopped sending people here. Unfortunately, the mainland still sends people because the shogunate is obviously we saw what the shogun was like. He's just wants his greedy tendencies. He's like, oh, I want the elixir of life. Send as much people as you can. That type of attitude he has. So yeah, he's sending people here who are becoming the nourishment and keeping these creatures alive and thriving, so that they can kill more people and take them as nourishment. So it's like a perpetual cycle. Yeah, that's what's going on. So yeah. So I do wonder what would have happened if they suddenly the mainland decided that, oh, we're not going to send any more people there. Oh, I do wonder what would have happened. They probably would have, I don't know. You know what? Why am I thinking about this? Let's move on. Okay. So next we get to see is that they Tenza and Nurugai starts running, and yeah, this one was kind of funny because he's like, oh, they'll easily be able to catch up to us, and as soon as he said that, he just came, running beside them. This kind of reminded me of the the cartoons that we used to watch when when I was a kid. The cartoons that I used to watch, the Looney Tunes show Tom and Jerry, the way this thing was running, with the hand, a head hanging behind, only strung by a little tree vine, and the way he was running like that, it reminded me of one of those cartoons. That part kind of made me chuckle a little bit. Anyways, he just stopped and he's like, oh, how awful, you tore my clothes up. And yeah, in comes Shion in this situation, throws the sword, cuts off the remaining part of the tree vine, and yeah, then they start running from there. So for now we are safe. Tenza met up with Shion, and yeah, but the threat has not disappeared. That thing, as soon as it settles itself up again, it's going to start following us again. But Shion kind of introduces himself, and we get to know a little bit more about him. We get to see that Tenza is very relieved. Tenza's like, oh, this is my master. He's the one who gave me shelter, taught me everything. And yeah, and he asks a question which I was also thinking. I was like, why did he not go away? Because that was the order. And then, Xion himself kind of explained to us that, oh, I was going to go. I did my duty. I was going to go, but then I saw that the current wasn't really, I wasn't getting like a proper current out. So I decided to just stay here and try to find our people who are of this, who have also completed the duty and who plan on going home, so that we can join up and go together. And yeah, another thing, Shion is blind. As you can see, he has this, and this. So yeah, like some kind of battle probably injured his eyes, and he cannot he cannot see from that point onwards. And yeah, so everything that he's doing is through sound and smell, and I'm guessing a little bit of sixth sense, like a feeling that you get, because if you lose one sense, all your other senses gets heightened. So yeah, he's like very attentive in these type of situations. So he's like, oh, why, what about you, Tensa? Why didn't you, this girl, why are you letting her go? I did my duty. That person, the criminal who was trying, who was with me, tried to seduce me and attack me, but I just cut off the head, and that's it. And Tensa's like, oh, but this girl, she's different. She's not the same type of criminal that the others are. And it's a very interesting thing Shion says here. Like, I was also like, yeah, the thing about this girl is she's different. She's not really a criminal, because as we know her story, she did nothing wrong. She not only did she not do nothing wrong, she in fact tried to help other people, at which she got arrested. Like, just crazy stuff. So that's what happened. So she's probably the only one who doesn't deserve to be in this position, in the criminal position. And that is what Tenza was saying, at which Shion says something very interesting, which is something I kind of agree with, because what he says here, first of all, he says, I've memorized most of the contents of the roster. I know the circumstances of the criminals, but the times we live in dictate what is a crime, Tenza. This word, this is such an interesting way he kind of explains this. So basically what he's saying is like, yeah, I do know that she didn't do anything wrong, but we are the government officials. We are working under the shogunate. So the shogunate is the law. Whoever person the shogunate deems are as criminals, they are criminals. Like he says here, the times we live in dictate what is a crime. This word. So he knows that she has been falsely acquitted. She is she isn't a criminal. But knowingly, he's saying that yeah, the times we live in dictate what is a crime. Like, you cannot really do anything in this situation. Now, obviously, you might say like, oh, but the girl obviously is innocent. Like, what type of a person is Shion if he gives a blind eye to that and tries to capture her just because the shogunate ordered them? Like, we have to remember that the shogunate is is the king, basically the king. Like, their word is the law. Nobody can go against the shogunate. And in this type of a situation, like Shion says in the later portion, that one of our decision can actually screw over the whole Asaemon clan. Do you understand what you're trying to do? Your one decision, your one little thing that you're trying to do might screw us all over. All of us, our heads might roll on the ground just because of one decision that you take. And that is the responsibility that they have. And I'm sure Shion also doesn't want to, capture someone who didn't really commit a crime. So he also, I'm sure he's also not really happy about that. But still, as he says, that the times we live in dictate what is a crime. And we have a lot of responsibility, so we really cannot do anything. in this type of situation. He is being realistic in this type of situation. Obviously, it's a wrong thing that they're doing, but he has no choice. And the if he tries to do something other than what the shogun had told, he or like Tenza might be the reason why everyone might die in that clan. That's a big responsibility. And yeah, and like I cannot really blame him in this type of situation. At least I cannot. I like he has a lot going on, and like he says that. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing where he says that part. Where's that part? It will be illogical for a sword to choose who it cuts. Above else, you violating this thing will be interpreted as treason committed by the entire Yamada clan. The actions of a single man could threaten an entire clan. There you go, as he explains. But counter, Tensa says, but you taught me how to use a sword when I was a homeless scoundrel. You took me in even though you weren't obligated to. Which is also true. He was also a criminal if you think about it. He was like beating up those samurais. And Shion says, but because I sensed resourcefulness and potential in you. At which he counters back, then it's the same for me. I sense this potential in a world where this child can live freely. So at this point, Shion is like, alright, you know what? I cannot really win in conversation. So he's like, yeah, you know what? You've come to speak like a grown man. And he's like, besides, I know you're a kind man. In the end, he's like, alright, you know what? Fine, you win, at least for now. But I'm going to protect this girl and just go along with what you say. But just in case, if if sheltering this girl means that later on we fall into some kind of tough situation, I might have to take some steps. So that's what he says. So there you go, we came to a compromise, at least for now. And Tensa's like, wait a minute, how do you know this is a girl? And he's like, of course I did. I've got a good eye for evaluating people. Wow. And he's like, you love making these jokes. Okay, so there you go. For now, we've come to a compromise. Nurugai introduces herself, and here he just calls her Nurugai, and I'm like, wait a minute, how did he know her name? And then I realized, like, oh, he just said that he has read the, what do you call them? The reports on the criminals. So I'm sure he has gotten to know from that. Okay, so there you go. Now, question is, what should we do in this type of situation where a bloodthirsty monster who doesn't die is trying to kill us? Immediately this thing just appears in front of us, and like I said, I do wonder why he switched gender again. He's a girl again now. Was there any significant reason for doing this, or did he just change gender just because he wanted to? Just because he felt like? That's the question here. I do wonder if there's a reason behind them switching gender, or if it's just because they want to. That is why. Because yeah, that might be a hint, as to how should we counteract these guys. Because like what I'm thinking is like, oh, maybe it's like some kind of like they have to switch gender, otherwise they won't be able to, I don't know, like fight properly. Like I said, there was like one section when Shion cut off the male's head, the male body, its head, and he kind of cut it off completely. So I was wondering, oh, maybe because of that he had to switch to a girl, because he cannot really keep the male body he cannot keep the form of the male body. It's like repairing inside or something. I don't know, like I'm thinking maybe it's like connected to their power or something. Or maybe it's just because he wanted to be a girl that he just switched to a girl. So that is the question. Is there a significance behind them switching genders, or is it just because they want? Okay, now immediately she just pops up, and thankfully Shion just comes in and saves both Nurugai and Tensa. But then, in that small amount of time, his throat got cut. So bad situation, like Shion is like, cannot really like fight properly. Tenza's the only one who can do something in this situation. So Tenza goes in and tries to attack this thing. And this thing is just dodging, like, left, right. And she's like, oh, you're pretty good for a human. Does the whole, like, like that, whatever thing she did, like kind of flicked like this, and a few holes started popping up in Tenza's, like, chest. And yeah, like he falls down, starts bleeding. And here we get a little bit of a flashback where we get to see Tenza's story. So Tenza's story, as we, like, know that he was picked up by Shion, and we've seen how he always was like, oh, like, why do I need to do this? Like, I don't have any potential, I cannot do anything. And here Shion says something interesting. Shion says, where's that part? Tenza says, it's not like I want to be a samurai, this is pointless. Shion says, I'm not asking you to follow the samurai code from the start, but someday if you find something you want to protect, the sword skills you develop will definitely help you. Okay, so look at the cherry blossom tree over there. And you can see the cherry blossom tree hasn't really bloomed, it's just there. And he says the trunk is lean and its flowers are still buds. But buds contain all manner of potential, just like him. And yeah, there you go. So do you. The day will come when your buds will potential will blossom. But then Tenza's like, but everyone calls me useless. Everyone calls me bad things. I'm actually useless. I cannot do anything. I don't have any talent. I don't have any potential. I'll never bloom. And he kind of gets mad here, and he's like, I'm not going to stay here, and he's just like, I'm going to go. And at first, like Shion's like, all right, you want to go? So there's one thing that you have to prove to me then. Before you leave and before you become free, just one blow. Deal one blow to me, and I'll let you go. At which, obviously, Tenza's like, why should I care? Tries to just leave. But then he meets Endo, or was it Enza? I forgot his name. The red-haired guy with the eye patch. He meets him outside, and he's like, oh, come with me. You're going to leave. You can leave, but just follow me a little bit and hear my story. And he goes to the graveyard, and he shows him the grave of Shion's disciple, or like who he kind of like treated like a brother, just like him. And Tenza's like, oh, this guy, he must have been in the same position as me, wasn't he? And he's like, no. And at that time, Shion actually paid more attention to his own skills and didn't really pay much attention to that. Pay much attention to the disciples, and yeah. At which, in the end, Teshin said that he'd live how he pleased and leave the dojo. And he went away, he left. So one day in the executioner's the place, Shion met his disciple again on that place. He's the one who has to execute him. Obviously, he realized that what must have happened is that after leaving this guy, he decided to probably had some more troubles in his life and had to become a criminal again, and now he has been captured in front of him on the executioner place. So he realized everything that happened, and here obviously I'm sure that in this situation Shion definitely blamed himself. Like, he must have thought that, oh, if I just paid a little more attention to him, didn't let him go away, this could have been stopped. And from that point onwards, I'm sure he did not want this to repeat again. And obviously after that he met what's his name, Tenza. Yeah, he met Tenza. So this time he has decided not to let him go away. So here's the thing, if you think about this, if Endo, this guy, whatever his name is, the red-haired guy, if he did not stop Tenza from going, Tensa would have left, you know. So can you imagine what Shion would have felt? Like here, where he still didn't want to give up on his disciple this time around and gave his full attention to him, still his disciple left. It would have been so heartbreaking to him. Just imagine, like, obviously, previously he probably blames himself for not paying much attention, but this time he tried to rectify it and paid as much attention as he could, and even told him not to leave and told him that, oh, give, like, deal one blow to me and then you may leave. Still, Tensa was going to leave. So just imagine if after coming back, if this, like, if this guy didn't stop Tensa and he actually left, and Shion comes back and Shion realizes that Tensa has left, just imagine how he would have felt. He would have felt that, oh no, this, like, I tried to change my ways, but it still happened. Like, it would have been such a bad feeling, I feel like. But thankfully, like, uh, this guy, the red-haired guy, he stopped him before he left and told him the story. That is why Tensa decided not to go. So Tensa's like heard the whole story, and he realized what's going on, and he realized, like, like the whole, like, like the talk about potential that he was talking about, and like, yeah, Tensa's like, all right, you know what, fine. He goes back and he's like, Shion Sensei, like, spar with me. And yeah, they start sparring again, and but this time he's taking it full seriously, and he's like, he's the first person who has believed in my potential. Nobody has done that, so I have, like, every right, like, no, I should at least try to give my all in this one opportunity that I got. So he's like, can I believe in my own potential? Can I find someone I want to protect in the future? And then we switch back to the present. He's bleeding out, like the scene where this, like, this monster is in front of him. Shion is also, like, bleeding out. Nurugai, like, is ready with the sword, but she really cannot defend herself in that situation. So he's like, oh no, this is a monster, we are all going to die. But like, finally he has found people he wants to protect. So he gets up and without a sword starts punching this monster. And I feel like it caught her off guard a little bit, because he just started punching. So like, using that opportunity, he punched her quite a few times, punched her so much that the upper half of the head just went away completely. Good god. But yeah, these are monsters. They regenerate quite quickly. So she starts regenerating and fighting Tensa. So here Tensa's trying to say that, run, you guys run, but his throat is cut. He cannot really talk properly. His, like, voice is not coming out. Shion, like, tries, and here's the thing, like, Shion is blind. He cannot really understand or like, see what Tensa is, like, trying to tell him. Like, Tensa cannot speak. So, like, I feel like in this situation, Tensa was trying to speak because he knows that Shion cannot, like, look, cannot see. So unless and until he actually says something, Shion won't understand. So he's trying his best to kind of, like, bring out the noise. Otherwise, Shion won't understand, even though his own throat is, like, completely, like, like, just he cannot speak here. So he gives his all. He, like, like, here, this part, he, like, speaks so much that blood starts coming out of his mouth. And finally, Shion realizes what's, like, he trying to say, and that he's trying to gather time for them to run away. So Shion, who was actually running at the monster, stops, runs back, grabs Murugai, and just goes. So yeah, as soon as Tensa sees that, Tensa's like, okay, now I'm a little bit relieved, and he goes and starts fighting again, and he's thinking, like, potential. I wonder what potential I had. And then he's thinking, like, oh, maybe, like, like, in the future he's kind of seeing, like, little like, snippets of the possibilities of the potential that he might have had. Like, he's, like, teaching a few, like, students, just like Shion did. Shion taught, like, disciples. He's also doing that. And then the next scene, he sees that like, like, I'm guessing he's getting married to Nurugai or something. But yeah, like, all those potential are just over. And yeah, this monster, she's like, oh, he's pretty tough, and just throws him away. So I'm guessing he's dead. Obviously, Nurugai is screaming, and she's crying. She's like, what are you doing? Like, isn't he your disciple? And Shion is like, I know, that is like, like, he's not only my disciple, he's more than that to me. He's like my brother. And he's like, but he risked his life for us. I cannot waste that. If we go back, this monster is going to kill us all. We cannot defeat this monster. And now we have to retreat. But I promise I'm going to go back, and I'm going to, like, I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to get my revenge. And I don't think he says that. I think he says something like, where's that part? Uh, if we hadn't run, we would have all been dead. We had to retreat. Ah, there you go. I swear we'll make them pay. There you go. And yeah, and in the end, we can see that this ending scene was kind of unexpected. I wasn't expecting that he actually was able to deal damage to him, which this makes it so much more interesting, because so in the end he was able to like score and get a score from Shion. And after getting that score from Shion was like, all right, you're free to do whatever you want. But he's like, no, from like, my free will, I'm telling that, please teach me more. Like, make me stronger and make me into someone who will be able to protect someone in the future. And Shion is like, yes, definitely. And we see the flowers, like, like outside the tree that was barren, blooming. So it was like the beginning of his, like, him blooming and his potential blooming. And that's where it ended. So yeah, in the end, he was doing this by his own free will. Nobody forced him to do this. Since he was able to get that 1 point for him, he was free from that point onwards. But he decided to stay and do what he wanted to. So yeah, like he finally got what he always wanted, that yeah, like someone to protect. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to stay alive to see to see more of his potential bloom and grow. That is where it ended. So yeah, I feel like I shouldn't really be surprised to see characters die, because like half of the characters who came in this island are already dead. So yeah, like a few more dying, I shouldn't really be surprised at this point. Like, oh boy. Anyways, yeah, like here's the question: how in hell, like, how are we going to do anything to these monsters? They regenerate. Like, how? Well, like, in no way are we able to do, unless and until we get some kind of a secret, some kind of weakness of these creatures. In no way are we defeating them, because at the position that we are now in, they don't have any weakness. So I feel like there must be something must happen from this point onward, where we might get to know some kind of weakness for these creatures, that we might actually stand a little bit chance against them. Otherwise, at this position, at this point, there's nothing we can do. So yeah, like let's see. That is it, guys. That was my reaction to episode number 8 of Hell's Paradise. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yes, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Hell's Paradise. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.